Welcome to another edition of the Focus TV. Want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. As always, hope everyone's doing well, staying safe. We got Octavia Wyatt here, Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr. These juniors are really messing me up this evening. As you guys saw from the opening video, Cardell found his way to a gym yet again. So we're going to let you talk about that in just a minute. We're also how we've been doing, got some updates about different leagues that are going on. So we're going to have WNBA update, NBA update, NFL update. And then I will say before you even get started, the MLS is back tournament starts this week. There's some games that have been pushed back, some teams that have left. We'll have more information for you guys on that next week. We got 9-4-50 again, as always. We're debuting another episode of The Probe. We got a lot of information for you guys in a little bit of time. But Cardell, the floor is yours. What did you take away from the open run you went to?
I took away that the DMV is in good hands moving into the future and currently. A lot of times we talk on this show, we talk off wax about kind of the younger players kind of being too cool for school too much. You know what I mean? Being too friendly and not competitive enough. And that wasn't the case, on Saturday. So, first I want to thank the district, Jim Folks, Ray Davis, and Jamal Brown for the invite to check out the pro run. It was definitely worth me getting out of bed at 7 a.m. and making the drive to Virginia to check out the next wave, college stars and current and future pros from the DMV. Like I just said, we're in good hands. It was a bunch of alphas competing against one another for about 2 straight hours. The games went to 7. It was 2 courts going at the same time, and if you lost, you had to sit and wait for the next game to be over. Teams were carefully put together, so you had a matchup to push you to make you better. That's the whole point of these type of runs. What the beautiful thing was, there was no political nonsense, no hiding, just straight basketball, exactly how it's supposed to be. And to be honest, we need something like that here in the area for serious ball players. I'm not even just talking about names. I'm just talking about guys that take basketball real serious. If you in high school, college, pros, you want to come on, get consistent run and get better, we need a consistent run like this, where you just come and play, and show what you can do and get better. Similar to how they do out, in California, UCLA with the Rico Hines, runs, organizer things, something like that. There's no reason not to have that here in the DMV, and I hope it continues. But I'm gonna get to the list of standouts, and there was a lot of guys that put in work. Don't get me wrong, everybody there was nice, just to be honest. Otherwise, they went ahead and got the invite. But it was a lot of players that kind of separated themselves from the pack, so to speak. First up is Favorite Ari, 6'10", 250-pound. Forward center from Bishop McNamara. He's actually going into his junior season. He held his own, honestly, with the quality of bigs on hand that I'm going to touch on later. A lot of pro bigs. He held his own. He was a presence in the paint defensively, blocking, altering shots. He crashed the boards well and finished inside well, showing the soft touch around the basket. He got in trouble bringing the ball down, where obviously the caliber guards on hand swarmed him and made it difficult for him to power up to try to score. He's still raw a bit and getting used to, his height and length, but the potential is crazy. And seeing him make plays against grown men as a youngster just finishing his sophomore season, it was impressive. Familiar name, another guy that stood out, Jeff Allen, definitely has a reputation here, played at DeMatha, Hargrave, and Virginia Tech, and he's been overseas for about 9 years now. He's a super vet overseas, but he's versatile. He made shots from all 3 levels, showed quickness off the bounce. He consistently beat his defender for dunks and showed great footwork in the mid and low post to make plays. He also was a lot slimmer than when I last saw him a couple years ago, doing, I think, at the Goodman League and whatnot, which helped him be, a bit more explosive than his younger counterparts and be able to run with the youngest throughout. Like I said, he was just a savvy pro, and he showed why he's consistently been playing high level overseas for 9 years and counting. Next up is Jared Bynum, 5'10", redshirt sophomore. He's at Providence. He started at St. John's, sat out last year, transferred to Providence. He was arguably the most impressive guard in the gym, and it's due to his impact in all aspects. He hit 3-pointers, he facilitated well, he scored in transition and off the bounce, and he was by far the best defender. It wasn't even close. Whoever he was defending had to be very careful with the ball because Bynum was ripping players left and right. He was so dominant defensively, teams just sent the pick whenever he was on the ball to get Bynum off the other guard, so they can try to make plays. He put in work. It's clear he put in work during his redshirt season after transferring from St. Joe's. And honestly, Friar fans should be excited, man. I think he's gonna bring a lot of excitement and definitely a big time impact to the Friars next year. Hopefully, we have a season, obviously. Anthony Cowens, 6 foot. Point guard out of Maryland, trying to make the league. That's what it's about right now, trying to make sure he's on point to make the league. And you can tell also he's been working hard. He was in great condition, came in there, trying to show some things, doing what he did in Maryland, but also, showing a mid-post game and trying to bang on a couple people, man. You know what I'm saying? It just, the work speaks for itself. We've done a probe on Cowens a couple months ago, so, our audience is well-versed at what he brings. It was just a continuation of that on top of possibly being in the best condition of his life preparing for the pros. He knocked down NBA range 3, scored inside, did work out in the mid post, which is saying something from a 6-foot point guard, and also ran the show and got others involved. It was spurts where Cowens, honestly couldn't be stopped. I feel he's an NBA player. I just hope teams don't judge him off his size and pay attention to his skills and heart. At the end of the day, that's what's most important. Another guy, another good point guard that stood out, John Davis. Uh, he plays for the Lakeland Magic in the G League. Just a tough shot maker, athletic floor general. Hit a few step back threes over big wings on hand. Probably saw the three he hit over AJ Wilson in the highlight. He finished above the rim in transition, showed, he has a post game. Davis shoots from 3-point range for Lakeland like he did during the open run. It will open his game up tremendously and will obviously attract more eyes for a potential call up to the NBA. Familiar name that I've spoken about constantly on here, Jordan Harrison, another 6-foot point guard, sophomore, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Harrison showed that last season wasn't a fluke as far as his ability to shoot the ball with range and an efficient rate. Harrison brought that deep shooting to the open run as well, pulling up a few feet inside half court as well, and knocking that open shots, which is a struggle for a lot of players. A lot of players practice off, shooting, scoring off the dribble. When they spot up and they wide open, they kind of struggle with those type of shots because they don't always work on that. The next thing for Harrison to get better at is to take his game to the next level is being more of a pest defensively and being able to make teammates threats consistently, which is the number one job for any floor general. Once he adds those improvements to his game, the sky's the limit. Another 6'3" guard, more of a shooting guard, is Jay Heath, 6'3", Boston College. I mean, this kid ultra aggressive scoring. Like he don't care who it is. He going at your neck. Like he came out gunning from the open tip. Most of the players took time to feel their way into the games. Not Heath. His first shot was a 30-footer. So that tells you where his confidence is. He was on the attack all day. He was lethal in transition. He displayed a nice pull-up jumper and was tough. It's easy to see why he was the second leading scorer for Boston College last season. He's just a natural bucket getter. Another point guard, Anyende Hakeem. As you can see, the point guard level of competition at a guard was ridiculous, man. Anyende Hakeem, 5'11" out of LaSalle. He was very impressive. He picked up guys full court. He battled bigs in the post and won his fair share of those matchups. He scored well in transition, on the move, off the ball, scored well inside with layups and runners. But the biggest improvement was seeing Hakeem hit three-pointers efficiently. Last season at LaSalle, he shot 26% from deep. You would have thought he shot close to 40% watching him play on Saturday. That's what's holding his game back. If he becomes a threat from deep next season, the A-10 is in trouble. Another name, we're going to start getting into the big man, Corey Manigault, former Paul VI big man, 6'9", just graduated from New Mexico, trying to get his shot at the pros. He's a technician on the block. He scored with both hands on both blocks, great footwork, which made it hard for opposing bigs to defend him. He ran the floor great. Basket to basket, and it resulted in easy baskets. And he knocked down a couple 3-pointers as well, just to keep the defenders on guessing on how to stop him. He definitely has a pro career in front of him. It's just a matter if it's going to be, the G League or, high level overseas. But I think with some seasoning, he should get his opportunity to try to crack the 82 roster. He's that skilled as a big. Another guy from the area playing for the G League, Agua Caliente Clippers, James Palmer. 6'5", 207, another natural scorer, man. Score from 3-point range, mid-range and inside, long, athletic. I mean, he got his hands on passes by just leaning over, and it wasn't like lazy BS passes. It's his length. His length for a wing is ridiculous, which makes him a formidable defender as well. Right now, he's streaky from deep. That's the one area he has to improve on. I think it proves that become more efficient in that area. He'll get an opportunity probably try to crack the 82 roster too. Obviously, being in a Clipper organization, it would be tough, but still, I think he got a shot, man, especially being so young. Hoya Jamarco Pickett, 6'8", going into the senior season. He just scores so effortlessly. It's just crazy. When you see how much talent he has, it's like, man, you should be way more dominant during the season. But, it is what it is with his size, skill, length, and athleticism. He's a nightmare to guard. He was automatic from mid-range. It didn't matter if it was off the dribble or on the post. He scored cutting backdoor for lobs. He hit jumpers from deep and was solid defensively. He had trouble banging with more physical bigs, though. Once they got into his chest and he was rocked back, opposing bigs had the space to score easily inside despite Pickett's length. Getting stronger, I feel, will elevate his game. He has all of the tools. It's just how bad does he want it? You know what I mean? Roddy Peters, that was a great sight to see, man. He played at Maryland, South Florida, Nicole State 6'3", former Southern star, played in the G League as well. When they start sending doubles to you as a guard during the open run, you're going to work, man. And that's what happened. Peters was incredible condition, and he put that conditioning to use. He was unguardable on transition and off the bounce. His handle was ridiculous while keeping defenders honest, being automatic from mid-range, shooting the ball. Simply put, he's ready for the G League and overseas opportunity. He was that impressive. Like if I was a GM, I would bring him in right away. Like you could tell mentally he's in a good space, man. You could tell he's ready to rock and roll, and that's what everyone who's a fan of his since Sula, including me, has been kind of waiting on, man. So if he get an opportunity, I think he's gonna take it and run with it and do what he should do, and that's go to work for a decade plus playing pro ball. Another guard, Charles Pride, 6'4", out of Bryant. Quick, shifty, fearless scorer. Great at one-on-one play. He was a difficult guard for everyone in the gym. He can score with deep jumpers, off floaters and runners, and out of the mid-post. He's also an underrated passer, especially out of pick and roll. He's talented guard to keep an eye on next season. I know this is going to make Duke fans happy. Jeremy Roach, just graduated Paul the 6'2" point guard. Duke fans will love Roach. Opposing ACC fans will hate him. That seems to be the go-to thing for all Duke players that stand out. It's tradition. So it is what it is. But that means you're nice if you get that type of reaction. He served everyone that tried to guard him, including the pros. His team, I believe, won their first 5 games before finally taking the loss. Best pure point guard in the gym. He can facilitate well, shoot with range, excellent handle. He was a crafty finisher with either hand and a good defender. Your total package, you can see him fully having his athleticism return after his ACL his junior season. I mean, Roach is a problem, and I expect him to do a lot of damage next season at Duke. Earl Timberlake out of DeMatha going to Miami next season, 6'5", versatile guard. He's one of my favorite youngest in the area because he's no nonsense. He come to play every game and he's trying to, take your head off, and that's how it should be. Timberlake did his thing. He's a big, athletic, tough, versatile guard, and showcased all of that. On Saturday, he shot it well from deep, played great defense, finished strong at the basket, and the most impressive part of his game, he passed the hell out the rock. He threaded the needle to teammates on the break and bigs cut inside for easy baskets. He physically looked bigger and ready to handle the college grind. Earl poses well against top-level college guys and pros, and I have no doubts he would do the same at Miami. Former name that should needs no introduction, Melo Trimble, 6'3" point guard, played in the NBL and overseas in Spain last season. He did what he does. He controlled the pace. He picked teams apart with his passing and scoring. He's always been a highly skilled big guard that plays chess, more so than playing checkers, trying to use his athleticism to get past people. He picks his spots. He did it all Saturday, taking what the defense gave him and making them pay for it. A guy that I wasn't familiar with that really stood out big, and 6'9" big out of Virginia State, Will Vetter. He's going in the senior year of Virginia State, man. He absolutely killed from the opening tip to the end of the run. No one could guard him. He was too skilled and athletic for bigs and too big and strong for guards. He scored efficiently from all 3 levels, dunked whenever he was near the basket, and held his own defensively. Like I said, I had never heard of Vetter before the run, but he's definitely someone I'm going to keep an eye on moving forward. If it was one player that wowed everyone, it was him. And I'm going to close this with A.J. Wilson, 6'7", going to senior season at George Mason. He's special due to the many ways he impacts the game. He can dominate and don't even score a lot. What sets him apart from other players is his motor. It reminds me of young Dennis Rodman, the bad boys Dennis Rodman, the Rodman that would get the rebound, outlet it to Isaiah, and literally outrun everyone down the court for the layup or tip-in. He has that same level of energy. He dunked on anybody that was near him in the paint. His chemistry with Jeremy Roach was beautiful to see. Anytime Wilson was on the move, Roach found him for easy dunks. Wilson also shot well from the outside, rebounding, and did all his customary hustle plays, including running down countless plays for blocks to stop a potentially easy basket, which is why his team ran off about 5 straight games to begin the run. He's a guy you win with, and it's not rocket science to see why he's an all A-10 player. And the player I feel will be making a lot of money to play this game one day. And that's it. If it's another run, they say they may be planning another. They say they may be planning another run soon. I'll keep everyone posted if that happens. If so, I will be back down there to check out some more action.
Get you some water, Cardell.
Hey, look, we'll let somebody else talk for a little while. You got me tired. You were talking, man. Hey, so shout out to those guys for obviously a heck of a job, because y'all did that to that man's list. That's the work that y'all put in, what you did during that run. So we're gonna go ahead and try to start updating you guys on these leagues. We're gonna start with the WNBA real quick. Teams started arriving at IMG yesterday. If you guys saw some of the good, bad, the ugly, and the in between. All right. Clearly, for any leagues that's going on right now, would be in your best interest to try to have the facilities up to par, as well as IMG, Disney, etc. The last thing you want to do in this day and age is have something not right, because there's a thing called social media. The wrong will be shown. Also, Liberty guard Asia Dort has opted out of the 2020 season as a medical high-risk player. In a statement that she shared and penned earlier today on social media, she stated that her battle with COVID-19, she tested positive on June 8th, has been complicated and arduous. She looks to support her team virtually, both on and off the court, with their efforts for social justice. And of course, moral support if they're trying to go ahead and make a run. They're a very young team, but like we've been talking about going into these things, I don't care what sport it is, these quote unquote bubbles, anything can happen. And again, another shout out to Angel McCautry. The WNBA and its union have agreed to feature the names of women who have died in connection to police action or alleged racial violence on the back of their jerseys. All right, we know the NBA, they did something, but theirs wasn't as broad and as big of a statement. Theirs more so of a list of okayed names. And, some players have spoken out against that because somehow, some way, people still don't know how to get out their own way. All right. Another thing, league statement on Senator Kelly Loeffler. She's a co-owner of the Atlanta Dream. The WNBA is based on the principle of equal and fair treatment of all people. And we, along with the teams and players, will continue to use our platforms to vigorously advocate for social justice. Senator Kelly Loeffler has not served as a governor of the Atlanta Dream since October 2019 and is no longer involved in day-to-day business of the team. If you're wondering why, if you caught that first today and not what preceded it, we will fill you in on that as well. This statement was in response to Loeffler writing a letter to Kathy Engelbert, WNBA commissioner, to express her opposition to the Black Lives Matter movement and asked the league to put an American flag on every jersey when the league resumes play later this month. Here's an excerpt from the letter. I adamantly oppose the Black Lives Matter political movement, which has advocated for the defunding of police, called for the removal of Jesus from churches and the disruption of the nuclear family structure, harbored anti-Semitic views, and promoted violence and destruction across the country. I believe it is totally misaligned with the values and goals of the WNBA and the Atlanta Dream, where we support tolerance and inclusion. I don't know how you can possibly add the last part for her to that statement with the words that were in front of it, but that's literally what's going on in the WNBA at this moment. I know for me personally, I heard the league statement. That's cool. That's fine. You need to do like the NBA and Steve Ballmer, not Steve Ballmer, but Donald Sterling. Get her out of there. That should be what should follow this. Because clearly her heart's not changing. She's not interested in it. She's told her line in the sand, and that's cool. That's fine. Be out. Because one of the things we've seen just covering the WNBA, the bad news always sticks around longer than the good news, and that's just what it is. The bad news is always the stuff that goes viral, no matter how many of us do the right thing and cover the league and treat it treat it seriously and cover it from the right perspective. That's the type of stuff that goes viral, is the bad, women like this, people like this that do these types of things, that say these types of things. And then, like the bad living situations down at IMG for some players. Like some of the players have said, like, yes, on one hand, the bad situations, those are horrible. And yes, they should be taken care of. That's why you notify somebody, you let them, give them a chance to rectify it. Yes, we know this wouldn't be something that happens with the NBA. And again, this is one of those things where, again, people are just kind of like grasping at the same dying arguments. Like, again, the NBA once upon a time wasn't this NBA. And again, for the WNBA at this time, I applaud Kathy Engelbert because she seems like one of the first commissioners in quite a while that's actually actively trying to make things better and get the league where it should be. But yeah, it's going to be a journey. And yes, it's not a good look for the league. And it is also not a good look for IMG because, again, these things are going to be shared on social media. That's all I had for the WNBA. But I want to hear what you guys, just you guys' take on what you think the league should do with Loeffler, whether anybody disagrees or we're all kind of on the same page here.
Yeah, I think we all reading from the same book, man. You gotta get her up out of there.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone's in favor. Clearly, there's no reason.
I don't understand why people take the time out to write letters and you got too much time in your hand to sit there and write a letter. Like, if you don't want to be involved, gracefully bow out. This is where it's going. Irritated me for real. I was like, I can't. Like, again, people are missing the entire message of everything. Again. So if you don't understand, you don't want to get on board, just go ahead and sell your I mean, Renee Montgomery already was like, I mean, if you want to have a conversation, I'm ready to do that. Like, you can't just say these things off the wall and think that it's just gonna fly. She out here like, what's good? You want to talk about this? Because you got some issues. Yeah, I hope they get rid of. I'm sorry, I just had to get that out.
I mean, I don't even. I'm at the point I don't even want to hear a conversation no more. I'm tired of people even asking for a stupid conversation. Y'all know what it is. Like, we know what it is. And I saw Clarendon talking about, I can't believe I had dinner at the house and stuff like that. I'm at the point now. I'm looking at our people, like, how you can sniff out a racist. You know what I mean? Like, I can sniff out a racist real quick. It don't even take much. It's how they look, how they move, look at you, how they move. It's real obvious. It's real clear. And they fake. You know what I mean? They act like they won't know you until they find out it's something that's, I guess, beneficial to what they have possibly going on with their interests. And it's real discreet, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm with all y'all, man. Like, this is an easy thing, man. Get her about it. Which she's a minority owner. Man, please, come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep this moving.
So even easier. A minority owner doing this much. Gotta love it. All right, we're going to take our first break, but we can't do that without the 9-4-50 breakdown. Jamal Hayward's back this week, breaking down scoring options without any dribbles out the mid-post. Should enjoy this again. It's breaking down scoring options without any dribbles out the mid-post. And when we get back, we're going to talk about somebody who made a lot of money in the NFL. See you guys in a little bit.
Working on scoring with no dribbles. Open up. Shot. Right pivot. Foot up. Shot. Next one. Reverse pivot. We'll do it again. Back pass. No dribble. Shot. Reverse. Left foot is my pivot foot, so I'm here. Shot. Next one, baseline spin. So I'm gonna fake middle. Again, fake middle with my shoulders, so my head up. Scoring with no dribbles. Open up. Shot. Right pivot. Foot up. Shot. Next one. Reverse pivot. We'll do it again. Back pass. No dribble. Shot. Reverse. Left foot is my pivot foot, so I'm here. Foot. Shot. Next one. Baseline spin. So I'm going to fake middle. Again, fake middle with my shoulders, my head. Up. Last part. Wait. I knew that was going.
Once again, thank you to Jamal Hayward, the 9-4-50 each and every week. So we're going to, Cardell, I know we said we were going to talk about the NFL, but real quick, we're going to talk about the NBA for a second. I know you had some updates because some pretty big news happened today for a local team that affects it greatly as they journey to Orlando.
Yeah, Wizards. I'm still gonna call him All-Star, even though he didn't make it this year. Bradley Beal did not participate in the restart in Orlando due to a right rotator cuff injury. The news came out earlier. Well, Tommy said it was final. It was a final decision last night, but the news came out today, and it's something that I talked to a lot of people. With Wizards, whatnot, and they said it's something that's been bothering him through the season. It really started affecting him right before the pandemic hit and the league shut down. But when the league shut down, I mean, he was playing through and he was playing great, but he was able to get treatment, come into the facilities, get treatment, work his way through it, play through it. But when everything shut down, that means he couldn't get treatment anymore. So he's literally at home. The last few weeks since they kind of, allowed guys to get workouts, which, Tommy Shepard said today was only 5 minutes of individual work. It's not 5-on-5 where you feel in contact to really see where you're at. He said he was feeling it and he was trying to see if he could work through it, but it's just not enough time to ramp it up and get the proper treatment so he can get through Orlando. And also being in a bubble, it would be hard for him to get treatment because everybody can't go. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, they just made a smart decision because like Tommy Shepard said today, he was looking at the start of next season, which right now they don't know what it would be. You know what I mean? Like, what if he go down to Orlando and then it becomes worse and it's really bad, and now he's affected for the next season with John coming back. So it kind of defeats the purpose, this is just another opportunity for the young guys on Wizards, guys that were two-way players, to go where they got called up, guys that's trying to stick in the league, like a local product, Jerry Grant, whatnot. This is an opportunity for them to show what they have down there and try to compete and try to get some upsets down there. It's as simple as that. Oh yeah, one other thing for the testing, just real quick. Tommy said the testing is like this. They flying out. They flew out this evening. When they get down there, they said they have to. Well, they were tested this morning. They're flying down there tonight. They're going to get in their hotel. They have to self-quarantine for about 36 hours, and they will be tested during those 36 hours. Then if they pass the quarantine phase, they will literally be tested every day while they're down in Orlando. Every team is doing that. So that's how serious it is as far as them trying to manage this COVID situation and monitor it. So, they're going to the extreme. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Nah, that's one heck of a tidbit there. That got to be another thing on the players too, where just another thing to focus on each and every day. Let alone what your job is, getting poked and prodded or whatnot every day. But like you said, just a great reminder just how dire these times are. The situation is what this virus can do. Octavia, the NFL, the floor is yours.
So, as I'm sure everybody has seen by now, if you don't live under a rock, that your man out there with that's your man out there with Andy Reid in Kansas City that just recently won a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes just signed a 10-year, $503 million contract, which
Ching
I'm gonna be honest,
ching.
when I first heard it, I was like, yeah. When I first heard it, I was like, wait, what? Like, what is happening? But of course, that man deserves every penny that they plan on giving him. But of course, with contracts this big, there's so many different loopholes and there's so many different ways of looking at it with guaranteed money and money that he could possibly not really get within the span of everything. Is he actually going to be able to use the entire 10 years in the contract? Is he going to be able to renegotiate earlier? So from what I've been reading, most of it, while although he is set to make a lot of money, he can make up to 400 and some change million, I believe, in guaranteed, but it just depends on how everything goes from now up until that time. But he's obviously resetting the market for quarterbacks. From what I've read, too, a lot of them are saying that they don't think he'll keep the contract for the full 10 years. He'll probably negotiate somewhere in 2025, 2026. 2026, he's slated to make the most of his money in the guaranteed. But a lot of things that they're considering, or what people are talking about that they think that they would possibly be considering, is that in 2025, that's really when the quarterbacks of around his when he came into the league, they all will probably be renegotiating new deals. So it's going to reset the market again. You have Goff and Wentz, who are both signed through 2024. So that'll be right up for them in 2025 to renegotiate. So it's a still unprecedented for a quarterback that's 24, 25, and signing his first deal to be this lucrative and this massive. And to me, I fully believe he deserves it. 24, he was the MVP. 25, he won a Super Bowl. I mean, in his first full 2 years of, I mean, he's been in the league 3 years, but he's been a starter for the past two. You can't really get no better than that. And, if you haven't seen him play, I don't know what you've been doing, because it's special. So I'm excited that he's able to get this. I really want to dig more into the contract because, like I said, I've heard so many different stories and how the contract really breaks down. And because I feel like this is still kind of new, that more details are going to continuously come out in regards to it. But I think that it's going to be definitely something that everybody's going to keep their eye on. I know I want to get you guys' opinions on it as well, but I did just want to touch on one other thing within the NFL, since they are talking about everything ramping back up as far as COVID. The NFLPA president also is in turmoil with the league, just based off of the coronavirus protocols. If, I don't know if a lot of you have heard, they've already cut two of the preseason games this year. The Hall of Fame game was canceled, and instead of the four preseason games they're going to play, they're already going to play two. The NFLPA wants no preseason at all. They feel like they need more time, in training camps, especially with getting their bodies back in shape. They haven't been able to work out fully with their teammates and their facilities, and they're more prone to injury, and injuries are never going to be a good thing in this league. So they're still kind of going back and forth on it. It seems like the NFLPA president just feels as though like the NFL is not willing to bend on things that are going to help them with their health and their bodies, if it's going to not be a good look for them playing actual games. And to me, lack of a better term, money. So that's just one other thing to look at. But I definitely want to hear you guys' opinion on this Pat Mahomes contract, if anybody would like to.
Hey man, back up the Brinks truck. You love to see it. Like you said, he deserves every penny. Like, he's the most electrifying player in the league. Just won you a Super Bowl. You give the man everything you got. Like, offer up your firstborn, your wife, your right arm, whatever you got to do. It's like it's good to see NFL players like starting to get their value. Like NFL is probably the most strenuous sport on your body. I mean, it is the most strenuous sport on your body of the 4 major American sports with the lowest pay scale. Like that just doesn't register to me, and it doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm always in favor of guys getting paid, and also Dak up next. So yeah, go ahead and Jerry got to go ahead and pony up. But yeah, no, it's a great thing. I'm real happy for Mahomes, and I hope this is a trend. When you see guys that are like this and in a position to really just take your franchise to another level, like not even just on the field, but with like fandom and monetarily and things like that. Like go ahead and give the guy a fraction of what he's giving you. I'm pretty sure like he's made them so much money. Just every young kid is going to be a Chiefs fan. He's a highlight reel. Like give the guy every penny you can afford to give him.
Cardell.
Nah, don't call on me. You trying to be funny. That's all that is, man. Look, man. I mean, he deserved the money. Nah, he's trying to be funny, man. Nah, no timeout. You know what you was doing.
Hold on. Why would I didn't want to talk. Why would I be trying to funny? Why would I try to be funny? He just hurt me already. Like he just hurt me last. Like why would I don't have any jokes.
Homie. My man. We see this dude every year. What are you talking about? We see this dude every year. We got to deal with him. Are you serious? You serious? Like, come on now. You saw what he did this last year?
Yes.
Boy put 51 on us in a half. Like, come on, man. Ridiculous stuff. It's disrespectful. Pop the trunk level stuff, man. Like, career ending. Going to end his career after the game, John. But nah, like I said, man, as a media, John, like, I mean, he cold. It's like seeing Aaron Rodgers at his best, but a more athletic version. That's the best way I can kind of,
that's a good,
describe him. And, I mean, and then with the weapons around him, it's just ignorant. You know what I mean? It's just Andy Reid just has. I mean, just take him from. I'm a Broncos fan for people that don't know, man. Like it's bad, man. It was bad last year just watching what he did to us, man. And it was so bad, like I couldn't even get mad. It was just a beating. It was, I feel like Magic in the 91 finals, like I can't even get mad because they just giving us a nice butt kicking, man. You just gotta take it, dog. The boy just nice, man. It is what it is, man. And I commend him for him and his representation for pushing that bar. You know what I mean? Because now, I mean, not a lot of people talking about it. Obviously, quarterbacks get paid a lot of money as is, but I think that's going to push the bar for all positions to get paid because you can't have a big old guy where quarterbacks get paid $500 million and the DB's still at like 40, or a running back at 40. You know what I mean? Well, I know McCaffrey got 100, but for the most part, it's gonna raise that bar across the board, and that's how it should be. And with the guarantee money, it will more than make up for how these old NFL contracts has been. So honestly, if I'm like Lamar Jackson, I'm looking at the Ravens like, I mean, y'all better have that bread ready. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Y'all better have that bread ready. I'm like, ooh, man. Y'all, man, look, you know what I'm saying? So, because he's kind of on the same track, got the MVP last year. They got a good chance of trying to win the Super Bowl, but, as in the media or whatnot, well deserved. But as a Broncos fan, I'm sick. I need Von Miller to come back. I need the Von Miller Defensive Player of the Year that was hounding, that was destroying Cam Newton in the Super Bowl solo dolo. I need that. Because that's what we're going to need for the next 10 years, man. Because he's not making out the division. Plain and simple.
10 years is a long time.
But you want to know what the sad part is? I looked at that money. I was like, he's still underpaid.
Yeah.
I'm not going like him.
For a year, yeah.
And like him, Lamar, Deshaun, the dudes that are playmakers at the position, and they can also pass, man, yeah, it's time to start charging. Remember before it was laughable. Oh, they run more than they throw. Aha. Hello. Irony is here.
Now you wish you had one.
Where we're at. Or your quarterback can't get out the
I
pocket.
wish you had
that
one.
stinks for you. Because this is where we've been going this whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this evolution of sports in general in the NFL. I don't know what they're feeding these pass rushers. They're different, right? The offensive lineman is going to take them a little while to catch up. But if your quarterback's always ahead of the curve, no matter how they build these the defense, no matter how they build the pass rushers, you know, dudes like Pat, Lamar, Deshaun, they're still ahead of the curve. So, you know, there's things you can get after Aaron a little bit. You know, if you pressure Drew, if you can push that pocket, things ain't the same. They ain't going anywhere. You know, sometimes with Lamar, it's like, do you really want to break the glass? Because when you break the glass, like, is it worth it? You push Pat out the pocket, you know, you push him out of the pocket, and like, it turns into a matter where the whole field's available. Not just half the field, all the field. I'm talking about 80 yards deep, 90 yards deep. It's just not cool. So, you know, like Cardell, very fair point. I'm sorry. You do have to deal with that man twice on a regular basis to get to the big game. So, yes, but he's not my friend right now. But he deserves everything he's about to get. And the other thing I'll be looking at is it's really interesting because most of him and Lamar, I'm looking at which tight end's going to reset this market coming up soon. Because it's about time.
That's another thing they're talking about.
Kelsey got like 2 more years on his deal. I don't think it's going to be George. I think it's going to be Kelsey.
Really?
But I'm interested. You said what?
I mean, Super Bowls. I was just asking, like, I mean, I definitely think it's between them two, of course.
Well, what's it called? Mark Andrews about to be up there. Ain't he the one with Lamar? Over there?
Yeah.
Like, he keeps putting up numbers. That's one of his little best friends too. But yeah, it's getting crazy. We're gonna close out, but as we go ahead, Cardell.
Now, one thing I wanted to say, I know you were saying like the evolution. I don't even think it's evolution because you look back through NFL history. I mean, it's been fast, you know, defensive linemen, quarterbacks throughout history. It's the mentality changing because once like a couple quarterbacks break through and they start doing damage, like think about it, they ain't just starting out. Like Michael Vick and Donovan McNabb was murdering the league. They was just trying to hold on. I understand the Patriots won in the Bowls and all that, but they was really Peyton Manning was doing this thing, but they was trying to hold on. You know, I think just the mentality is changing because they see how much of a threat it is, man. It is what it is. Like you literally have to have a constant spy on these guys, otherwise they could beat you with their legs. You know what I'm saying? It's devastating. It's devastating, and what you're getting is open-minded coaches. Like Andy Reid's the perfect coach for Mahomes because he had Donovan and Vic once upon a time. So he knows exactly what to do. All those years of experience, mistakes he might have made, he got Mahomes, and it's just like, I know exactly what you do to you, dog. And that's why he gave him the bread. It's not rocket science, man. So it's a few open-minded coaches that are getting with the curve that are looking past the skin tone and the way they play and just looking at it like they can't stop my guy. So I'm going to let my guy do what he does. Whereas, you know, don't get me wrong, the majority of the NFL is still stuck, but they just going to watch these guys keep winning until they get with the program. You saw, I mean, I just told you last week, Belichick was smiling because he got one. And he got a big one. The biggest of them all. So he's happy as hell. You know, yeah, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just what it is. These guys today are getting opportunities that previous black quarterbacks who had the same ability never could. Warren Moon was another one. You know what I'm saying? Randall Cunningham was like the real first one, OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't really get the chances. So, guys that were fast play quarterback, what's my man that passed away? Steve McNair was another one. Guys like that that were nasty at quarterback. They could run, pass, do it all. And as soon as they get to the NFL, we need you to be a DB. Now, how many of those quarterbacks that played at HBCUs back in the day was breaking all types of records or whatnot? They get to the NFL, all right, play wide receiver or DB. We don't feel you're intelligent enough to play the position. So it's not evolution. It's just the mentality changing. The ignorant stereotypes is changing slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? And they better change quick. Otherwise, like I said, you're just going to keep seeing these type of quarterbacks beat you and win Super Bowls. And you're going to be out of a job eventually because you keep losing.
This is true. Now, I think that's a perfect way to put it. That's a perfect way to put it is now they're way more acceptable, at least the smarter coaches. way more acceptable of it.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's the best. I guess that's what evolved. Maybe a little bit more open-minded coaches. The fact that now if you don't have one, you at that place. We're about to get to that place. Like you said, if you don't have one, you're on house.
Yeah. And I mean, look at your team, Wilson. I mean, Harbaugh. If Harbaugh would have treated Cap different, he might still be in the NFL. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he had one. Roll with him through the tough times and rock with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
Or at any given time during that, I don't know, you could have deal with your brother. Your brother had enough systems like, hey, I got one. Let's give him toys.
Because think about it, no disrespect to Jimmy G. What if Cap with everything he could do was on this 49ers
He completes that deep pass. He completes that deep pass. Let's say it. It's fine. He completes that deep pass.
Yeah,
technically, you're not enough. It's okay.
It's okay. You can say it.
One, he completes the deep pass. Two, with a 10-point lead, it's not being given up because those drives, like that's the other thing is, yeah, Jimmy can move coming over the ACL. He ain't running nowhere. One, two, Cap ain't never had no issue and ain't nothing there going, I'm out. So that's a whole different, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different thing. So yeah, like,
and it's harder for the
me.
Chiefs to come back and win that. It's harder for them to come back and win that game.
Not only that, like, what are you doing on an end around with Debo and Cap got the ball? You know what type of ugly game you playing with that? So again, you don't have to tell me, trust me. It hurt me knowing that whole time we had that young man, the most explosive offensive player was a freaking tight end. It hurt me deeply. Like that boy got a whole cannon. It was like slant, drag, hit. Hey, Vernon, go deep. Slant, drag.
Not Vernon, though.
Yeah. Oh no, it didn't work. Fix it. That was the offense. So shout out to the smart hardball in Baltimore. Got something. Realized I'm not gonna do like my dummy brother. Oh, you're fast. Hollywood's fast too. Oh my gosh. Hey, Devin Duvernay, you're fast. Come on down. It's a really wild concept. But before we close out, I want to implore you guys. We're gonna release the probe this week, so get out to see episode 33. It's gonna be on LaMelo Ball, so that one should be fun. I had fun editing it. I know Cardell had fun breaking it down. So definitely, we're gonna release that this week. Definitely go out to see that. And we're gonna go ahead and get out your hair. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. As always, get over to finestmag.com, mymonsports.com, and we're gonna have some fun in the next couple of weeks. Got some fun guests, things going on. These leagues are gonna go get back up. Oh, we'll be working again. So see you guys.
And we got some big coming locally.
Oh yes.
I say we got some big coming locally. So
this is very true. Can't wait to share with you guys.